Woman, right down the line.
Welcome back. It is 9:20 right here in the heart of the River Bend. Yesterday it was announced somebody I might know a little bit is returning to the helm of Alton High boys soccer. Greg Nasello on the line now. Coach Nasello, how are we?
How are you? It's good to talk to you.
This is weird.
I would have never dreamed that I'd be talking to my son about a job that I took on the airways with a whole bunch of people listening in. That's really cool.
It really is. I didn't know how to preview this. Do I call you Dad? Do I call you Coach? You know. Well,
it's all good.
This has got to be exciting. I mean, the post went out yesterday, with Alton High releasing that you would be coming back as the head coach for the boys soccer program, and it kind of took off like wildfire. How is it feeling to get this reception that you've been receiving?
Well, it's awesome to have people want you to be doing a job that you really enjoy. People are supporting you like that. That's fantastic. I'm so excited. I can't wait to get going. I sent a message to AD yesterday, like, I'm ready to go tomorrow. Let's go. Let's just get this thing going because it's fun. But at the same time, I'm also coaching at Marquette. We're in the midst of a great season. We had a great game last night. That made me even more excited. So when you see one team playing so well, even though we didn't win last night, it was a great game. And then seeing this, it's just exciting.
Well, and another thing that was talked about in the article is the past coaches recently for Alton High with, Tyler, with Nick, a lot of players that you coached, in your initial run with the program. How does that feel knowing that you're rubbing off and having players taking that coaching level after their playing career?
That to me, there's two things I always got excited about. Number one was putting players from high school to college. Number two was to see players when they finished college wanting to come back and coach. And I had several of them doing it. Derek Beck was one of the first ones. He went through college. He was my first goaltender at Alton High, came back and coached with me for years, and then other players along the way. It's just exciting. I love that. I'd love to keep more in. And Tyler was a great player for me. Nick Funk was a fantastic player for me. So it was really cool to see those guys go on and coach. And it's great to see them giving back to the community.
Oh, absolutely. And, too, a familiar face on the girls' bench for Alton High, Gwen Sable, who you coached as well.
God, yes. What I always say, I was lucky to have several great players. She's one of them, and she's just something else. I loved watching her play. She's got that same tenacity as a head coach. It's great. It's so exciting to go back to Alton High, especially with all the things that they put in to the facilities. None of that I had when I coached. So going back, it's like, this is unbelievable what you're going into.
Yeah, and actually you segued that perfectly because, when you were there, the Gordon Moore Field was still the home turf for the soccer teams, and you had, so many times you're out there trying to roll the field and get it ready to be played on, and now all these great facilities, it's got to make it easier to get the training sessions in that you'd like.
Oh, there's the training sessions were the easiest thing because they put us on the north side of Gordon Moore and they could care less what we did over there.
Oh, that's true.
The games were a nightmare. And the games were the hardest because there'd be rain. And I remember times that Rob Mogino, the coach from Marquette, and myself would be out there with cushions trying to suck up water. And we were taking spikes and trying to put holes in the ground and drain. We did everything we could to get games in. So those days are gone. Now you're looking at that field at West and you go, oh my God, how beautiful is that? Last year when Alton Marquette played the boys game there, and I was so fortunate to be able to be down there, in that game, and you're just going, this is unbelievable. What a facility.
Well, and too, on top of that, that was actually the first game I broadcast for RiverBender was that Alton High Marquette soccer game. And just as a former player to see those teams playing on that field and just a beautiful setting. I mean, if only I was a little bit younger, but you'll have that.
Well, I tell you what, I felt the same way because you got to remember I was a player too.
Right.
When I played, we started at Western Military Academy on dirt. We didn't even have grass at the time. So that was my freshman year. And in my sophomore year, we started playing at Gordon Moore, but it was still new. So there wasn't a lot of grass there either. So, it's been great. I've been fortunate my whole life to be able to be around this game, do a lot of great things with it. And now coaching it, it's just the best.
And who was your coach in high school? Was it Mick Brown or was that Larry Montgomery at that point?
Mick Brown was the first coach that I had. and he coached for 2 years. And then Larry Montgomery took over in my junior year, and he coached through when they went to state. They had a great run with some great players on that team. In my senior year, we won the regional title. We beat Marquette, and I scored the only goal. I still remember the goal, putting it through Mike Walter's legs. And it was just a little toe poke. But we won the regional, and that was the year we were the only team in Illinois that year to beat Collinsville. They beat us on our field. We beat them on theirs, and they won state that year.
Wow.
So, but we couldn't get through the sectional. We just got beat, but it was still great.
Well,
so you can remember every game you ever play. You can remember every big game you ever coach. And that's the other thing that's beautiful about this game, and you never forget.
Well, and too, on top of that too, right now, especially, with the history there, how does it feel, getting some of those, players that maybe you played with, or even a player that you coach now, the son, the daughter, is in the community playing. And another point, with this, Dad, is the development of soccer around the area. I mean, when you started, there wasn't very many opportunities. And now you got Salt with Damian Jones with that, futsal court and so many different amenities. It's got to make it easier to get the team prepared.
Well, I'm hoping that's the case, but I think a big part of any high school program, successful program, is community involvement.
Yeah.
And when you've got all these things in the out in your environment that you can utilize, and other people you could go to get kids excited to play, because to build a good program, the first thing is you got to get kids excited and want to play the game. I think we're really fortunate right now that this game is such a global view with television. You can see every league around the world at any time. And then the MLS is going strong. And what's happening with St. Louis FC is just going off the charts with the crowds and everything else. It gets people excited. So if we can build on that by using things like you said, the futsal courts that are there, getting other kids involved in camps and other things, that's where it all starts, and just keep it building. And pretty soon it's like the snowball effect. It just gets massive. A lot easier to control it that way instead of trying to build it. It'd be a lot more fun to say we've got too much participation rather than not enough.
Right. And on top of that, with the youth and your involvement with Alton Irish soccer, what are you seeing now in terms of, the up and coming players? You have some insight on that. Is it pretty promising?
Well, when you look at the Irish, remember this club is phenomenal because it takes care of, oh my God, I've got 5 different high schools involved with the club team that I'm coaching now. How cool is that? I mean, you've got Alton High, Marquette, of course, those 2 right there. But then we've got Jerseyville, we've got CM, and I've got several players from Southwestern. So you got players from all over, and these guys get to know each other, which is great. So when they go back to their respective high schools, hopefully they can take a much higher level of play than before when they came to us. And that's what that club's about, is building players up for their high schools so they can get better than enjoying each other. Because when we played last year at Marquette, and we played a couple of the guys in Jerseyville in the first round of the regionals, it was really cool to see when the game was over, hey, we're buddies again. Yep. It's good to see you, man. I'm sorry, we won, but it was a great game. And that's how it should be. You got to have that camaraderie. That's what this team builds. You want to be competitive, but it needs to be friendly rivalries. When you're done, you go celebrate it together.
Absolutely.
And I think that's what we need to do. Just keep building those kind of things.
Absolutely. And we're going to transition a little bit. We got a couple of minutes left, but I mean, right now the fun, of, getting that, acknowledgement, people are reaching out, is there. Now we're getting ready to start prepping for the upcoming season. What's that look like for you and the team?
Well, it gets real busy because as soon as school gets out, the summer contact days hit. We're going to use as many as I can possibly get in. We're going to try to get everybody coming out. So you want to get your team ready before fall. You do not want to go in, August 4th and try to come up with a plan. No, you got to have that plan going. Weightlifting will be a part of that. We'll be doing some field work and things that way. And we're also going to look to play in the summer league. So that's a big deal. All those things you have to do to build, because you do not want to wait to the last minute. I truly believe you got to come in prepared.
Without a doubt. And with that being said, we saw a couple of your goals in some of the articles written in the community today, and a big part of that is you're looking to win a playoff game and go as far as you can. What's the ultimate goal for your team this year?
Well, anytime you're coaching a high school soccer team, I don't care what level it is, it's to win state. Mm-hmm. And I was fortunate enough to be able to do that over at MICDS High School. There is no better feeling than walking off that field in a championship team and getting that medal. And I would love to give every player in our district a chance to do that. That's what it's about. But it starts with hard work. You know, and I love him because he's just an unbelievably knowledgeable coach. He tells the players every day, you've got to train to this level. If at this level, you cannot win games to build yourself. And it takes the start when you come out day one. It's got to be that attitude every day, and you keep building on it. You're never going to accept mediocrity. Build to be better, and if you can do that, you got a chance. And that's all you can ever ask yourself is a chance, because in this game, a little break here or there changes everything.
Without a doubt. And as we wrap up this conversation, and we'll have you back on as the season gets underway here, what's your kind of message to the parents, the players that are going to be, under, that program at Alton High? I know that you take training the way that, we trained at Gallagher, that hard intensity, that hard-fought matchup, but when it comes to the games, you're more laid back now.
Well, you know what? That's what I try to do. I learned a long time when I was in college at Oakland University. We trained to make that practice session 100 times harder than the game. Mm-hmm. So when you step out on the field in the game, you could relax. And you saw it with the coaching staff. And I try to do more of that. It's gotten easier as I've gotten older because I've mellowed a little bit. There's no doubt. But I still have that competitive fire, and I want to win. But I've learned that the best way to win is to get your team prepared before you step out. And then you can get them to relax and not just play the game well, but enjoy the game. One of the things that I think players forget is how much fun it is to play, because you get so focused on the winning and losing, you forget this is a game and it's fun.
Absolutely. And we'll let you go here. A good preview of what's to come for the Alton High boys soccer program. And just really quick, so cool, spending my childhood on the sidelines with you. Now I'm going to be calling games with you on the sideline. And it's really cool. My brother on yesterday, my dad on today, and great insights and great promise with the Alton High boys soccer team. Best of luck, and we'll be in touch.
All right. Talk to you soon.
We'll take a quick break. Our daily show rolls on this 23rd day of March in downtown Alton.
RiverBender Radio has built 3 great new stations just for you in the Riverbend. The Eagle, the Riverbend's classic rock station. The Bridge, hit music for the Riverbend. And The River, today's country, and all your favorites. Check them out today at RiverBender.com.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Macias Insurance Agency, providing quality products with extremely competitive prices. As an independent provider, we source multiple companies to offer the best rates possible. Covering auto, home, business, and life insurance, our goal is to provide quality service that meets and exceeds customer expectations. You can rest easy knowing the Macias team is working round the clock to ensure that both you and the most important parts of your life are covered. Our qualified professionals make the insurance process easy so you can live carefree and focus on what matters most. Visit MaciasInsuranceAgency.com today to find out what our team can do for you.
Are you in the market for new flooring? Look no further than Ed Eagles Discount Carpet. Ed Eagles has an enormous inventory of carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood with professionally trained carpet installers that will treat your project and home with the utmost respect. Lowe's and Home Depot can't even compare. Our discounted prices regularly beat out the big box stores. Stop by today to have your new flooring ready for the holiday season. Ed Eagles, quality carpet, tile, vinyl, and hardwood at discount prices, located on Humbert Road in Alton.
Inspiring her dreams and helping her pursue them. That's why we protect your house and your car, because we know they're the launching pad to their dreams. And now you can save up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. American Family Insurance.